Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Rambling Through Everyday Life with Fran and Angela. My name is Fran. We can officially say Merry Christmas. How's everybody doing? How was Thanksgiving? How did you feel about it? How was the food? Did you love it? Hate it? Are you exhausted? So much has happened in the last week, right? We've cooked, cleaned, traveled, eaten, slept, maybe worked. And then here we are shifting gears completely, getting all ready and fired up for Christmas. We have got our house pretty much done. I feel like it's 99% decorated. So yeah, here we are. Listen, I don't know how you feel right now. I don't know what the holidays and December mean for you and what kind of emotion that is stirring up in you just even right now. As you listen to this, but I don't know. I've been thinking about something a lot, and let me just encourage you in this. I'm speaking to myself here as well. You know, life is a gift, an absolute gift. Our bodies are a gift. The breath that we have in our lungs is a gift. The people around us, the community, the relationships, all that we're able to do, good or bad, it's all a gift. And way down in the middle of that gift is Jesus Christ himself. He is the giver of all good gifts. And so no matter how you feel, whether you're happy, you're at peace, you're overwhelmed, you're afraid, you're so unbelievably sad, you're burdened, I don't know, however it is you feel, I pray that if you take away all the things that are causing you to feel a certain way, in the center of it all is delight and joy and hope in the Lord, because He is the only reason that we're still here. And I don't know about you, but this Christmas season, I really want to lean in close to Him and appreciate the people, the comings, the goings, all that's going on each and every day. I want to be very aware. I want to be fully aware and present that He's right there. The joy of the Lord really is my strength. All right. We love you guys so much. I think this episode will be a lot of fun for you. It's just a great way to kick off the Christmas season with a little bit of rambling with Fran and Angela. We love you guys so much. Enjoy the show and have a great day. Angela, I feel like we should start this podcast off with Falalalala, la 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 la.
We need some jingle bells.
Christmas is here.
You can finally, appropriately play your Christmas music with no judgment from me.
I know, and I may or may not have already been doing that. And anyway,
the turkey has had his day. It's time for Santa Claus.
Well, you weren't on the episode where Claire Tanner and I talked about the fact that I don't like this meal, and I'm sorry, y'all, but I don't know. It's not my favorite. Let's just have tacos and call it good.
I think if I didn't have such vivid memories of my grandmama in the kitchen making the cornbread dressing, memories. And I think to me, I do love the food, but I think the sentiment behind it.
Yeah.
And now Aunt Sylvia carries the torch. And
it's precious.
Prepares for days ahead of time. I'm not that person. Our poor kids. I don't know what's going to happen.
Well, mine are going to be like, let's go to Rockando and get pizzas and do that again this year, because that's what we did last year.
It may become tacos when it's my turn.
That's fine.
We'll see.
That's okay.
Well, we have...
So you're in charge again this week.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. We're just going to ramble.
This is 2 weeks in a row.
We're going to do that thing that we do where we swing from ridiculous to spiritual.
I'm ready.
Here we go.
Let's go.
First of all, I need you to update me and our listeners about Chip.
Oh, gosh. Angela, this is so awful. So if you listened to episode 16, that was the week of Thanksgiving, we rambled about a lot of things, and I talked about Chip. He was going to participate in Black Tie Unboxing, a fundraiser for juvenile diabetes. I was so proud of him. He's worked so hard. I mean, I think I'm correct that he was the oldest person participating in this event. And anyway, at one point he came home and was just, his arm was really bothering him. But he's also was a college athlete, played sports his whole life. So everything kind of hurts a little bit, but it did bother him enough that he went to a good friend of ours, a doctor, an orthopedic man, and gave him a steroid, but also said, hey, let's get an MRI. Did the MRI. A week later, came back with the results, and I'll be dadgum, we were shocked that, yes, he had a torn labrum. That was to be expected based on what Chip was saying before the MRI. Had the torn labrum, had a slight tear in his bicep that connects up to the shoulder. But the craziest of all was that his rotator cuff was just shredded. And he said shredded lettuce. After the surgery, he's already had surgery. He's out of black time boxing. He had the doctor's appointment on a Wednesday. They had a cancellation for Thursday surgery. And next thing I know, he's doing all that.
Can we just pause right there a minute? I mean, this is just how men do things.
Yeah.
If it had been me or you, I just imagine that we would have had to process it, think about it, talk about it. Plan for it. Chip finds out news on a Wednesday afternoon. Mm-hmm. You and I were supposed to record a podcast Thursday morning, and then it was like, oh, hang on, Chip's having surgery tomorrow morning. Yeah. Like within less than, I don't know how many hours.
Yeah, not even 24. It just blessed. The doctor said it was probably one of the worst cases in a shoulder that he had seen, and just was shocked that he had been doing all that he'd been doing. I mean, Chip works out constantly. So not only was he working out, but he was also sparring and training, had gone to this fight shop and done all this stuff. And it's a miracle his shoulder was just not dead.
Goodness gracious.
So anyway.
You've been quite the caretaker.
Yes, I had to tie some shoes for him this morning. I had to put some socks on him. He's got to be in one of those immobile braces things for 6 weeks, which will take us right up to New York.
Yes. And how will that affect your trip?
I think by then, because he's already doing so well. I mean, if anybody has ever prayed that I've asked to pray for Chip in this recovery, yourself included, the Lord is just, he's taking care of him quickly. And he was healthy and strong to begin with, but anyway, we should be fine. We'll be okay. But the physical therapy part, if anybody has ever had this kind of surgery, y'all are all cringing, going, oh my gosh. So anyway, so there you go. There's that. Merry Christmas, everyone.
So there's
my there's where my dollars are going this year.
That's the truth.
But anyway, it's all
Bless
good.
It all. Well, okay. So when you said you had to help him put on his socks, guess what that made me think of?
Okay. Oh yeah.
Remember the last episode?
Do you have an answer?
I asked about socks that will not slide down into my boot.
The dang boots and the sock situation is a real scenario that is just troubling.
It can make my day go from great to terrible.
Because we all know that if you're feeling good about how you look and what you have on, well, watch me walk out the door and conquer everything. But the minute that sock becomes tangled up down there, it's not good, y'all.
And it always just stops halfway to your toes.
I know. Okay, so what'd you find out? Seriously?
Okay, so let me say this. Y'all keep in mind, we are in the Christmas shopping season. Shop small, shop local.
Yes.
You find these local businesses and spend every dollar you can with them.
Please.
So I am, in my career, I'm an attorney, I'm a mediator. I play both of those roles. So I get to help people resolve disputes, which is totally my jam. I love helping people find healthy resolution to their conflicts. So I got to go to Dyersburg
and to be
morning.
nice doing it.
And to be nice. It is the kindest, gentlest way to have a legal dispute, because then you get to leave. You get to create your own agreement. Mm-hmm. You don't have somebody telling you what to do with the things that matter the most, especially your children. So I had a mediation that I was in charge of this morning in Dyersburg.
Okay.
I love going to these little small towns. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. They have really, if you are listening and in our area and have not been to downtown Dyersburg lately.
Nope, I've only been to the Chick-fil-A there.
We are going on a field trip, Fran, to Dyersburg, Tennessee. Okay. Their downtown has been revitalized.
Oh, I love stuff like that.
It is so precious. They have got some of the best shopping and little gift shops. So go do some Christmas shopping there. But I have a friend, Will Cherry, and he has a gift shop called the Cherry Orchard.
Oh, precious.
Isn't that the cutest thing in the world? Well, you're going to hear my bag rattle. I got you a treat, Fran. Y'all ready for this? Supposedly, this is the answer to all of our sock woes.
Now, listen here, y'all. Listen, Angela, we got to take a picture of these.
I know.
So that we can...
You know what? I think we should give a pair away.
Yeah. These are darling.
Look at the name.
World's Softest, like walking on clouds. Weekend collection.
And they were designed locally.
Yeah, the Cherry Orchard, found on Main Street. Doesn't get any better than that. And it says on the back, these socks feel as good as they look. Well, yeah, we're going to post some, and I'm happy to send some to somebody because these are just precious, Angela.
Aren't they so
You're the
cute?
best gift giver in all the world, where everybody knows I'm terrible at it.
Well, I'm sporadic.
Yeah.
Like if I'm in the moment and I see something that reminds me of somebody, I'll just get it. Well, okay. So I just gave y'all the whole big sermon about shopping local, and this is not something I found locally, but I bet some of these little gift shops could carry these for us.
This is like our holiday gift guide, but not.
I know.
Because we don't have a holiday gift guide.
We don't have a gift guide, and we don't have codes and fancy links or anything. But when we find fun things, we just feel like you need to know about it. I found something that I sent you that I ordered for somebody, I won't say who, in my family. But there's a brand called Paper Sunday.
Oh, yes. I showed this to a couple of my student workers, and one of them got online and ordered it immediately.
It is the cutest thing. It's papersunday.com. They have a prayer journal. It's actually just a journal, just with blank pages, but they personalize it on the front with your initials, and on the inside, there are 72 different scriptures written at the bottom of the pages, and they personalize it with your name. In the verse.
Love, love, love it. That part, when I clicked on the link and saw that, sold me. And it's not that super expensive.
It's not. I've got them pulled up right now. And
it's a great gift. I mean, I don't know if you could get it in time for Christmas. I don't know, shipping, that's all a nightmare. But
it's all a nightmare, and who knows, but they're $32.
Get it anyway.
Yeah. Softback, hardback. You can do King James. You can do Spanish version.
I love it.
Standard. Anyway.
That's such a great gift.
I thought that was worth talking about. And then at the
let's just pause for just a second.
Yeah.
Here's the deal. Everybody is kind of like, this is the Christmas because shipping is weird and everything's being delayed. Like, I ordered something forever ago, and I guarantee you it's stuck in Humboldt because my UPS tracking thing, it's just like, it's delayed, and I know that it's just sitting 10 minutes up the road in that wherever, and I can't get my hands on it. So everybody's just like, Christmas is going to be weird. So I think because of shipping and everything being weird, you better be shopping local. You better just be going in your favorite little stores and buying things and not have to worry about shipping. I know that we love to get online and order, but here's the deal. Now's the time to support local. I love it.
Well, it's actually a local family, a local person that your dollars are helping.
That's right.
And one thing we're doing again this year, we did last year for the first time, but at our venue in Humboldt, the venue at Twin Oaks, on Sunday, December the 12th. I think it starts at 12. It's either 12 or 1. But we're having a Christmas market.
Love it.
We have invited lots of local vendors all in one place.
Everybody go.
So it's kind of like your shopping mall, but it's local, and it, pray for beautiful weather.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
It'll be indoors, weather permitting. It won't be a big deal.
Love it. That's so good.
Well, Fran, okay, it's Christmas season. What to you makes it feel like Christmas?
Oh gosh. Well, currently, I don't know. I think that I love the things of decorating my house.
Have you done that yet?
Yes.
What all have you done? Inspire me, because we don't start till the day after Thanksgiving.
Let me tell people this. This is what I did last year. At the end of Christmas, right before I took everything down, I made a Christmas video of how my house was decorated.
That is genius.
Because I will unpack things and be like, wait, what did I do with this? And so...
That is so smart.
Yeah, I'm sure there's other people out there that have been doing it for 100 years. But I had to pull that video out and be like, now what did I do with this little tree? And where did that thing go? And anyway, so I love to decorate my house for Christmas. And I did my dining room table last night, and Christy Treadway, my sweet, precious friend, she is going home to see her parents, and I haven't told her this yet, but I will. I want her to bring me back some magnolia and decorate around the table for that. Anyway,
That's so Southern.
It is, and I love to decorate my house. And but then also this year, just having my kids home because they're not going to be home for like they have been in the past. And so any moment I can have them under my roof, in addition to our trip, because hello, we're still going to New York. Y'all remember that if you listened to the last episode. So I don't know. There's all kinds of things that I love. I love the Advent readings and of course the spiritual side of it all. I get stressed out about gifts, so I'm also very relieved that we're going on a trip because gifts just stress me out. But I don't know. What about you? What's it like for you?
I'm like you. I like decorating. I'm not really great at it, but we love putting up the tree.
Do you do a live tree or a fake tree?
We've done both in the past. I think 2
now let me
years
just pause right here and say, due to Chip's surgery, he cannot help me get the tree up. So, Dylan Thomas, it's me and you, babe.
Hey, and
I'm
Dylan,
sure he's going to hate every ounce of it.
Let's give a shout out to Dylan for other things he's learned how to do. He changed air filters.
He hates all of it. But I'm also like, dude, you're going to have to know how to do this. You're going to have to know what the Sam Heckin air filter is.
I love it.
Our kids are rotten.
On the job training.
So,
do y'all do stockings?
Yeah, we do stockings.
Do you hang them up?
Yep.
That's so fun.
Yeah.
My grandmother handmade our stockings growing up. And we would all spend the night at my grandparents' house in Denmark, which is where we live now. Not in her house, but down the road.
And Denmark, the little bitty town, not the country.
No, not the country. But we would, we grew up Catholic, so we would go to Christmas Eve Mass with my mother. And I loved in the Catholic Church just it was just very, I don't want to say formal, but just the candles and
a candlelight service. I love a candlelight service.
Oh, it just makes you feel it's so intimate.
I don't like, I don't know that people do this, but I don't like when Christmas, becomes all showy and I don't know, like I love a simple, and in the church, I love a simple candlelight service and not this massive something. I don't know. But that's also just because I'm getting older and my heart is just bent towards a simple, pure direction.
We always would sing. The kids' choir would sing, and I can remember we would go do that. And the Advent wreath. We always had an Advent wreath. We had one at home, and there was always a slight fire incident because you can imagine with 3 girls and a lighter and a wreath that's flammable.
Yeah. I love an Advent wreath. I don't want to make one. Sometimes the churches will have this big craft thing where you can make one. I'm like, nope, not interested in that. But y'all go on and do that.
And Advent calendars, did y'all ever do those growing up?
Yeah.
We always had and we always had one with chocolate, and there were 3 of us girls, so there was always a fist fight. It was never big enough to really cut it in thirds.
Do you still love the movie Home Alone?
Oh, yes.
And Elf?
Oh, yes.
I love, when Home Alone comes on, the original number 1 Home Alone, I will sit and watch it. And I told the kids when we're in New York, granted, hello, there.
You'll have to recreate it.
I said, we're going to go to the hotel and, see all the spots. And I just love it.
Instagram stories.
Y'all, sorry.
Every bit of it.
Sorry in advance.
Oh, we've got to see it all.
Okay.
And then my grandmother would fry oysters. This is the most random thing.
That's bizarre.
We would come home from church. She would fry oysters. It doesn't on Christmas Eve. And we were so mad as kids because she was the best cook. And we were like, that's the worst torture.
Where did that come from?
I could not even tell you. My dad and my granddaddy loved fried oysters. And she did whatever they said.
Santa Claus is coming to town. Have your oyster.
But then the next day, it was the whole big meal. And we all spent the night.
Yeah.
Cousins, aunts, uncles, we all spent the night. And Santa Claus came to my grandmother's house.
Do you all do cookies for Santa?
We do.
Yeah, I still do.
We
which means they go in my mouth.
Oh, of course. and carrots for the reindeer. We used to do the little happy birthday Jesus cake.
Yeah, we don't do that.
We never were consistent.
We couldn't get that. I mean, it was a lovely thought, but it just, nothing personal, Jesus.
Y'all listening, go do that, but we've been inconsistent with those kind of things.
We couldn't do it either.
And I've also wanted to be that family that always like read the Christmas story out of the Bible.
No, we don't do that either.
In theory, that's who we would be.
Yeah, in that perfect, magical Instagram world. That's who we would be, but we're not. That's okay. Good grief. I think Christmas is one of those holidays where, especially mothers, we have this this story, this idea, this vision in our head of what everything is supposed to look like, and it really doesn't look that way.
What do we say to that mama that's stressed out going, I have failed at Christmas because I
think
didn't do all
you need
these
to ditch
things.
the vision and just throw it in the trash and just let it be what it is and love whatever it is. I mean, just throw it away.
And the elf on a shelf.
Yeah, stop it right now. Stop it.
I wish I had it. My sister sent me something from a county somewhere that passed legislation banning the elf on the shelf from their jurisdiction.
You or Danielle posted that, and I immediately asked you, is that real? Can you really do that? And who the heck is going to enforce that? Nobody. Is it just all for fun?
Probably, but I think it's fantastic.
Yeah.
If you're one of those mamas
granted, the elf on the shelf creators are making $1 bazillion.
Yes, they are.
And they love it. However.
And my hat is off to these mamas that have multiple elves in their home, and they do creative, wonderful things.
Angie Atwood is one of them.
Oh, my gosh.
She's a rock star.
She's amazing. Yeah. Our elf, I would just have to say, well, I bet he's really getting good surveillance in that one spot because he sat there for 4 days spying on you. Yeah, no
Angie
shenanigans.
Atwood, listen, we might link to her. I don't know if she'll do it
Angie Atwood's
this year.
the queen of a lot of things.
She is.
But add that to the list
she's fantastic. I don't have the creativity. I don't know. I'd steal everything off Pinterest, but I don't even want to execute it every day.
I mean, Angie's had them zip lining and
oh man,
all kinds of fun things.
Yeah.
I just want to be an Atwood.
I know. I want to be Angie Atwood when I grow up.
What about Christmas music? What are your favorite Christmas songs?
I pulled up I've got a couple of playlists that.
I need your playlist. Can you share those?
I think I can. Yeah, I think we could share it in the story. I love a couple. Travis Cottrell, my beloved friend, love him so much. Had the privilege of singing in his choir for 10 plus years. And he has a Christmas CD out called Ring the Bells. And we would sing a couple of those songs at Christmas. But, oh, dang alive. There's nothing like Travis's voice. But that's a must listen to, as is Michael Buble. That's all. You know what? God
that's hard
bless his
to say.
Soul. Michael
Buble.
Michael Buble. The Christmas Deluxe 10th Anniversary Edition. And then I've got a playlist of just a bunch of hodgepodge. It's the Most Wonderful Time of the Year by Andy Williams and Let It Snow, Frank Sinatra, and, just some real classics that are just a lot of fun. I know kids today are like, that's stupid. I've never heard that song. If it's not Mariah Carey or Beyonce, or Taylor Swift for that matter. They're probably like, true. I have no idea what this song is.
I still love, and we've talked about last year, I know the Amaryllis, but Christy Nockels, The Thrill of Hope.
Yeah,
that album is so good.
Pentatonics.
Sure. Man, you're coming out with all the hard words. But yes,
what does that word even mean?
I don't know. I could make something up.
I don't know. And it
means we sing well.
Well, penta means 5.
5 singers.
Well, whoever you are, Pentatonics, that's also a tricky one to say. The 5 singers.
The 5 singers. Do you remember in Christmas Vacation when Chevy Chase is sitting there with the turban on his head in the attic, all bundled up, watching the Christmas movies, being all nostalgic before they open the attic door and he goes crashing?
I love that. That's another movie. I swear, Angela, I will watch that movie 1,000,000 times.
Well, the song that's playing while he's watching the movies, getting all misty-eyed, is called The Spirit of Christmas.
Yes. I can hear it now.
I love that song. And there is a version out by one of mine and your favorite singers. who just might be making an appearance on the podcast soon.
Yes. Hello, everybody.
Stay tuned for that. But that has been one of those that I just love and just gets me in the Christmas mood.
And last thing, and then we'll shift gears. Christy Treadway is real good about getting that stuff. I don't even know what it is. And you boil it on your stove, and it makes your house smell all Christmassy, like cinnamon sticks.
And we need to post her recipe because I need it. We need to put that in the stories for sure.
I saw a little something on the TikTok about...
It's better than a Glade plug-in.
And a candle that, Anyway, we're going to find it. We're going to find it because I love that smell.
Yes.
I don't even know what's in the pot that's boiling, but cinnamon.
A bay leaf? No.
I don't know.
Cinnamon?
I don't know.
Cloves.
Maybe a lemon.
Can you tell we cook?
Yeah, I don't know.
We don't know our way around the kitchen.
I'd rather go buy the candle, but
not for real.
But I don't know. I want that smell. Christy Treadway, you're going to have to help us out, sister. Okay. What else do we need to talk about?
Well, it's Advent.
Yes.
Advent is here.
Jesus is coming.
Do you know what the word Advent means?
Tell us what it means.
You know,
Angela.
I'm a word nerd.
I know it.
I had to look it up.
Give us the definition.
Okay, so Advent is from the Latin adventus, which means coming.
Yeah.
The arrival of a notable person in the Christian church calendar. It's preparing for the celebration of the birth of Jesus.
Yeah.
And preparing for the second coming of Christ. And it's always the Sunday nearest to November 30th.
Well, how about that?
So this is Tuesday. It was 2 days ago.
Yeah. So we are officially in Advent.
We are in the Advent season. I personally love, and I know we have this in common, I love any season like Advent or Lent where there is some extra reminder to slow down. Focus.
Be intentional. Listen, you know what? Intentional, I love that word. But a couple of Sundays ago in church, the pastor, Eugene Brandt, is that how you say his last name, Brandt or Brandt? Eugene Brandt.
Brandt sounds fancier.
Eugene Brandt. He's South African. At Fellowship, he used the word intent. What is the intent of this conversation, this hour, whatever it is you're doing? But I love that. I love the word intentional, but what is our intent with Advent in in the preparing for Christ to return? I mean, yes, we're celebrating his birth. We can do both. We get the privilege of both Advents, that we're, anxious for the one to come, or us being called to heaven, or just celebrating his birth. I think, it's just a beautiful time of year to prepare our hearts and think about what our intent is this season.
And for me, because I'm the neurotic, crazy one between the two of us, I have that tension between, I don't want to strive for it, work too hard at it, try to feel obligated to get my check mark by doing all the Advent study things,
right, while
trying to slow down. Do you hear how crazy that sounds?
Yeah, no, I don't live that way, but I understand that. Yes, I could have said that myself probably, just because I know you so well.
I'm crazy.
No, it's just, but that's a lot of people, especially this time of year where you're trying to create this perfect scene and these perfect things, but also want to call it all good because and I'm talking to myself here, not you, we sit down and we did our Advent devotion for the morning, but then 98% of the day we ran around like a crazy person.
So speak to me and the people like me, Fran, because you're on the outside looking in. What do we do? How can
it's not going to matter?
Look different?
It's not going to matter. It's not going to matter that you ran around like a crazy person. It's not. It's not going to matter. I think maybe because of where we are on the calendar, when people are possibly listening to this, literally just write down, 4 or 5 things that you want to do this Christmas season. Like, go ahead and set your intentions.
That's good.
Go ahead and set it. And there's some gifts that you need to buy, but that doesn't need to be all the crazy, which is what ends up happening. I think that, creating for us, it's that trip, and that's not what everybody's doing, but, just creating some planned. You're going to have to plan it. This is what we're going to do. We're going to create an experience and some memories together. Otherwise, you run around like crazy people all the time, and that just leads to me less structure. And you're organized and you love structure. So just go ahead and plan it. You're not being like legalistic and weird about it, but I don't know. I think
that helps though.
Yeah, you get caught up in all we got to go this, and I need this for my stocking, and we need to go buy this and drop this off and give to that, and and still work and feed people and pay bills all at the same time.
Use the paper plates.
Yeah.
If you come to my house, do not expect anything other than paper plates and solo cups.
And it's fun. It's fun.
Okay, so I ordered from, and we need to talk about the If Gathering sometime soon. That's coming up in March.
I went to the very first one. You remember that?
You sure did. It was our first event at the barn, and you actually went live in Texas
Nikki
with Nikki Castles. And then, that.
If people are new to it, just Google.
Tell us about it.
Just Google If Gathering. And it's just a gathering of women all over the world now, because they stream it, but there is also a live event, and it's coming up in March, and you're going to host it.
We are at the barn. We've hosted it every year. It's year 7, 8.
7 or 8.
Yeah.
And so
Jenny Allen, Sadie Robertson, lots of great teachers.
And we just sit and watch and listen, and it's streamed.
Worship.
And it's so good. Highly recommend that. We'll put the dates for that in show notes too.
It's free to attend too. It's a Friday night and a Saturday.
And come and go.
Yes. And wear jeans.
Yeah. Just be comfortable. Show up when you can. Leave. Come back.
But they, the If Gathering company, I guess.
Organization.
Organization.
Ministry.
There you go. Ministry. That's a great thing to call it. Their ministry put out an Advent study. Several Advent studies.
Not shocking, but you got it.
And I ordered it because here I am trying to accomplish a good quiet time during Advent.
And you know what? I sit there and I think I'm just going to find an Advent reading plan online.
And they're out there everywhere. They're in the Bible app for free, the YouVersion app.
Yeah.
But I found that one, and it really is good. It's called Hope is Alive, and it's a 4-week study. And it just focuses on what we're putting our hope in and how we should live differently because of Jesus. And if it's something that you're interested in, they have, actually it's called Advent As We Go, a podcast series where they're actually talking about these different 4 weeks. It's from back in 2019, but it's so good. So if you're listening and you just need a little bit of extra focus, look for a reading plan, look for either that podcast. There's studies everywhere, but it is such a great time just to be intentional. If you don't have a structured daily time with the Lord, all the chaos of this time of year almost forces us to have to, by necessity, get over ourselves and refocus.
Yeah.
Because there's so much going on.
You got to fight for it because your days are crazier than they've ever been.
That's exactly right.
And you're more tired maybe than you've ever been.
That's exactly right. And I've learned a lot in the last few years. It's not about am I good or bad or right or wrong. It's am I empty or am I full? Am I going to start my day reaching for my phone and let my brain just spiral with all the tension and the stress of what's coming? Or am I choosing for myself peace and joy and pausing and spending time with the Lord to get fulled up, to get pulled up. We're just going to leave it right there.
What does Pentateuch mean again? 5 singers that are filled up with the Spirit.
Fold up. But he steadies all the crazy emotion this time of year and just all the things going on in my heart. He steadies that when I just start my day with him. And I was telling you earlier, this sounds funny. It's not, but I get awkward and funny when I'm talking about serious things. I've paid for a lot of therapy this year.
Yeah.
I've spent a lot of dollars on therapy. And I was reminded of something my therapist said early on. Grief is not linear.
I love that.
Don't you love that?
Well, and I will also say just because if you're not going through any kind of grief, I take that word grief and I put the word loss.
Yes.
Those are similar but different.
Yes.
And so when you start talking about this, keep going. I'm hearing loss.
Just like Chip losing the opportunity he was training for.
That's right.
That is a form of grief. Anything that does not look the way we expected it to.
Right.
And goodness gracious, that's happened a lot over and over the last couple of years. But we all know people who have lost people very close to them through death this past year. And we're hearing from a lot of you. And just knowing that grief is not linear. You don't go, I was laughing with you yesterday because it's like my brain expects, well, I've made it through level 1 and level 2, and I can just check those off and be done with them. And that is the most ridiculous expectation, because this morning I was in the middle of a workout and I just started crying so hard I could not stop. And I wasn't focusing on thinking about sad things. I was focusing on not killing myself and breaking my neck trying to do a workout. And there were a lot of things going on, weights and different moves and things. So it wasn't like my brain wasn't focused on something else. But the grief just overwhelmed me, and I just started crying. I was just mad. And I just I cried through about 80% of that workout, but I let myself, and I felt so much better. I'm learning not to get in my own way with those emotions. And then something that you posted about.
Emotions are scary.
They're scary.
We're not going to run into that. The emotion of any kind of sadness, loss, or grief. It's fear. It's a fear-based thing. And so we're not going to just run right into it and go, yes.
I love to feel sad right now.
Yes. Let me run right towards that.
Yeah. So, my immediate reaction is always make it stop, make it go away.
Oh, for sure.
I'm stronger than this, power through. And that is that's not healthy. I'm learning that. But also, and I want you to talk about your Facebook post that you did yesterday as part of this too, but just recognizing that we've got to give the Lord room to work in the circumstances in our lives. I've got to let Him continue to work through that. And then, we see our kids in pain over things, and we just want to fix it, control it, manage the circumstance, not manipulate it like in a bad way, but we want to spare them the pain.
We just want to control it.
And we have good intentions with that.
Right.
But we're, as a result, getting in the way of what God is intending to do in their lives, because we're trying to jump in the middle and fix it, control it, solve it, and not let them learn the lesson and the dependence on Him. I've learned I'm getting in the way of my kids being dependent on the Lord when I jump in to try to save them.
Well, you know what we think? We think that when we jump in and save them, that we're going to draw them closer to the Lord, but we're pushing them away from any kind of experience with Him where they experience us instead of experiencing Him. And we're afraid that the world is going to win, and that we think that God is not big enough for whatever it is they're going through.
Why do we do that?
Because we're idiots.
That's it.
We're trying to be Jesus Jr. in as good of a way.
Well.
We do mean well. But as if you're listening and you've got younger kids, you will walk through seasons of loss, sadness, grief, frustration, anger, disappointment, all of it. You will. And I don't know, it's just, I said in that Facebook post that I would hear people say things like, this world is not our home, and be like, I don't know what I would feel. First of all, I would think, I don't want to go to heaven. I don't like heaven. I don't understand heaven. How can heaven be better than this? Because if you're in a good season, you think, well, this is pretty good.
And it's all we know.
It's all we know. So I would hear people say that kind of thing and just not know what to do with it and just kind of dismiss it. But the older I get, I do realize, because I have experienced and have been with people, yourself and others, my children, my family, we've experienced such loss and sadness and disappointment and heartache and frustration, to where you really do understand we are not meant for this world. And that tension, we're all living in it. Sometimes you're living in it really up close in a personal situation. Sometimes you're pulled back and looking at it from a little bit farther distance. Like when, I was watching you and your family go through the loss of your dad, I could only get so close to that because that wasn't me. But so we're all navigating that tension of how to live here and now on earth, but also be hopeful and anticipate heaven. And it's just, we're just going to live in that space until the day we die. And it's just bizarre. It's difficult. But I just need those moments where I think, okay, Lord, help me just live in the tension well. I want to honor you in all that I do, but I also just want to have a really good time. I want to have a good time doing that honoring. I don't want to be complacent. I don't want to miss opportunity because I just was afraid or unwilling or, I don't know. But I don't know. I say all that just that Jesus, this time of year, he does want so much for us, and it can start right here and now. And we need to embrace all of who he is and get in the Word, be about him and his business, and it's good and it's fun.
It is, and because he set eternity in our hearts, our hearts crave him and long for him. When we just get still and quiet and give him a chance to speak to us, it's so precious. And because I think because I have buried both my parents, because I have, cousins and just all kinds of relatives that we've been through funerals. And when those people have gone before you and they're in heaven, it makes heaven a lot less scary and feel a lot closer to earth. Well, not that it's scary at all, but, death unknown, and dying is unknown. Scary as a child. But.
And even if we don't know much about heaven, but we do know that it's good and it's better than this. And for those of us that are believers, guess what? We're going to see those people again, and that makes me smile. When I'm sad over, people dying on this earth, and I know that they're believers. Oh, I just rest. Even with the tears streaming down your face, you just rest in knowing I'm going to see them again, and we get all of eternity together, and it's going to be good. It's going to be so much better than this earth.
Amen.
You think they'll have Starbucks
Praise
in heaven?
I think you will have coffee. I think we'll have our dogs. I think we'll have baseball. Yes. I think we'll have all the things that we love.
Please, Lord Jesus, let it be. I want the red cups in heaven.
I was trying to find that.
That sounds so stupid.
No. You know what? The details matter to God. He's laughing right now, Shirley. I was trying to find that C.S. Lewis quote, and I didn't find the one I was looking for. But
share with us another C.S. Lewis.
Here's another one. Hey, have another. The fact that our heart yearns for something earth cannot supply is proof that heaven must be our home.
Oh, I love that, Angela.
That's a good one.
That is good.
What scripture comes to mind that's given you hope? How do we end this thing on a high note?
Oh, what scripture's coming to mind? I think, oh man, you know what? I think just knowing that God in his kindness and his love for us sent his son, and God himself wrapped himself in flesh.
Isn't that amazing?
And dwells among us then on earth as a human, and then now within us, through the power of the Holy Spirit, he dwells in us. The fact that God gave us himself through his son, put flesh on him, and put him on this earth for us. I don't think that's a story we should ever grow immune to. And this is the perfect season to just reread and read again, and all the different gospel versions of it. Matthew, Mark, Luke, John, read them all. It's just beautiful.
May we hear it with fresh ears.
Yes.
See it with fresh eyes.
Yes.
Every time we hear Emmanuel, think about God is with us.
All the people said. All right, Angela, this was fun. Next week's episode is going to be fun, super fun.
Big fun surprise.
Big fun surprises, y'all. Merry Christmas. Happy December. Keep your eyes on Jesus. He is the reason for the season. Y'all have a great day. We love you so much.